Everyone, tickets to the Mario movie, please! Yahoo! This video is sponsored by my irresponsible use of time.
The Super Mario movie is so good, it's life-changing, it's gonna usher in a new era of cinema.
No, it's a piece of garbage, and anyone who enjoyed it is an idiot, and it deserves to be buried in a mass grave next to the mutilated corpse of the life of pets. No, none of these things are true, and there's nothing I can really say about this movie that I assume other better and much more respected channels haven't already, so I guess you should just click off now. No, but really, the Mario movie was not bad at all. My roommates, one of them being my little brother, went and saw it on opening night, and I refused to go because I didn't want to waste my money. But they said it was good, and I went and saw it a few nights later, and yeah, it is good. I think all the negative reviews are written by critics who never developed past taking all social cues personally, and instead of playing with the other kids, ostracized themselves because they were above the animalistic tendencies of cooperative childhood interactions. No, or they just had their own opinions and didn't know what they were watching. I had no expectations when I went into this movie, which may have been a big reason why I enjoyed it so much, because exceeding nothing isn't all that hard. I mean, most of the time. But regardless, I was very happy the whole time I was in the theater. I did let out a frustrated sigh into the face of a random child sitting next to me when the Illumination logo popped up and it had a minion in a Mario Kart underneath it, but I was eased when the Nintendo logo immediately followed it. And yeah, that probably nostalgia hacked my brain and exploited my militaristic loyalty to this company, but it worked. And that's what the entire movie is like. It's less of a movie and more of a 1.5 hour visual love letter to Mario. Most movies like this use intertextuality sloppily, and they stop the flow of the movie to point at things and be like, oh look at that, it's that thing you love, yay, we're so good at making movies, thank you for your money, and everyone just goes, and yeah, it did this a few times, but it didn't feel like they were trying to manipulate me. More like someone who gaslights you while at the same time gaslighting themselves, if that makes any sense. It was tasteful for the most part, and it was actually really reverent. Yeah, I spent most of the time detached from the actual plot and looking for little references in the back, which there were a lot of, but it was fun. And it's not like the plot was bad or anything, it was just very basic. You know what it felt like? A Mario game. No, actually, believe it or not, it was more complex than a Mario game, but just slightly. And unlike a Mario game, the characters could talk, and to my surprise, and the surprise of a lot of raging memers online, the voice acting was actually good. I liked Chris Pratt and Seth Rogen and felt that their voices and performances fit. Maybe that was because I'd grown used to it from the trailers, but hey, whatever, it worked. Jack Black was great, while at the same time using subtle meta commentary to shine light on the dangers of being a delusional simp. The only people I didn't like were Cranky Kong, which I think the voice actor went a little too far and was actually bored and cranky in the studio recording his lines, as opposed to trying to humorously emulate that mood. And I also feel like Anna Taylor-Joy was a bit rigid, but only because her lines were mostly expository. There really isn't anything she could have done about that, so whatever. I mean, someone had to explain it to the toddlers and homeschool kids in the crowd. Also, I like the Toad voice guy, but I do think they missed the opportunity to have the whole movie just be Bowser, unplug the router! Overall, it was great. Honestly, the worst part was the screeching children in the audience, because this is a kid's movie, and I was a 24-year-old man sitting there in the audience scrutinizing every minute detail of this film. You know, I feel like it could have been a lot worse if Nintendo didn't step in and make Shigeru Miyamoto babysit the project and throw in the old hero's journey thing. The best thing about this experience was when I got home from the theater after watching it, and all of my roommates, including my brother, came out into the living room from their gamer dungeons, and we all had an hour-long celebratory discussion about our favorite parts of the movie. And we reminisced on old Mario games and how they could possibly adapt other Nintendo IPs. Sometimes that's all that is really needed. Not everything has to be directed by Denny's Menu. I think that this is the best outcome that could have happened for a game adaptation like this. Because, after all, this has shown Nintendo the untapped gold mine that is franchised Hollywood films. I'm sure there'll be sequels to this one and more Nintendo movies. I just hope that the films adapting their other franchises are also respectful to the source material. Honestly, I think that Nintendo should make their own movies I mean, jumping industries is not something that is new to them. Or maybe they could just oversee the writing of the stories and perhaps just outsource the production to different studios. Also, I really don't want every movie to just be an animated comedy made by Illumination. I feel like a DreamWorks Kid Icarus movie could work, or dare I say, a Mappa or A24 Zelda movie that is dark and gritty and Link becomes another silent Sigma male character. And they can even have Ryan Gosling voice act his 3 lines. Or a Jurassic Park Yoshi movie. Or an Avengers-esque Smash movie helmed by critically acclaimed director Terminal Montage. Or a spy heist thriller based on the casino and the Luigi card dealing minigame in New Super Mario Bros. On the DS. Or Top Gun for furries, or a hyper-violent cosmic horror Metroid movie, or a war documentary from the perspective of Pikmin in the trenches, or a Teletubbies Kirby movie laden with dark and disturbing subliminal messaging on pressing existential issues. Anyway, the biggest impact this movie had on me was that it reminded me how much I loved Mario growing up. Now being a more cynical adult intellectual, I had grown a bit disillusioned with the simplicity and childishness of Mario games. The last one I played was Odyssey, and I didn't really like it. So I'd recently been indulging in more sophisticated entertainment. It's almost like in my old age I've forgotten how to have fun. But all the music and references brought me back in time though. The scene where Luigi is being flown away to Bowser by the Shy Guy, and he remembers the moment from childhood where baby Mario saves him from a bully really got to me. It reminded me of Mario 64, New Super Mario Bros. DS, Super Mario 3D Land, Mario Kart GBA and DS, Super Mario Bros. 3, Yoshi's Island, and all the time I spent laughing and fighting with my little brother while playing them in the backseat of my parents' Honda Odyssey. So, it was better than I thought, but it wasn't a cinematic masterpiece. Kinda like most Mario games. Whether it be Mario Kart or Mario Party, I probably won't watch it again unless it was with a bunch of friends, with some cold bevs and pizza, but regardless, a good time to remember nonetheless.
Peach, I understand. No means just try again.